Last year, we know it was literally a 50-50 split between Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. This year, a lot of people are expecting Javonte to, take and capture the bulk of the carries there. What are you hearing and seeing or thinking that this split is going to be? Because as we all know, new coaching staff, Justin Alden is now the, I believe I said that right, is now the offensive coordinator who comes from Green Bay and Atlanta, has that, Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, coaching system. So what are you expecting and seeing, hearing about Javonte and Gordon's split this year?
For Broncos coverage, I look at Benjamin Albright and Mike Kliss just in general, and it seems like they're on the same page that Javonte Williams is the one, but is more of the 1A to the 1B. And last year, Melvin Gordon would come on the field first, and in the next series, it would be Javonte Williams. I think it's going to be the inverse of that, with a little bit more towards Javonte Williams. But I do think that they probably view Melvin Gordon as the more reliable pass catcher. And last year, Melvin Gordon was the more consistent runner against in that wide zone scheme. And I think that Javonte Williams has a little bit of room for improvement there. But at the same exact time, I am looking at upside here. So I think the most likely scenario is you're drafting Javonte Williams 24th overall, and he really ends up being like the 32nd overall player, slight loss, but there's a chance that he has a top 3, top 5 season in him. And I think ultimately in fantasy, we have to be playing for ceiling. So I think this was a slight win for Melvin Gordon, maybe a slight loss for Javonte Williams, but I was always projecting kind of a 60-40 split here. And even if my median projection for Javonte is a little bit lower than where his ADP is, I still want that path to that like Jonathan Taylor type of season. I still think that Javonte Williams has that, even if it requires an injury or Melvin Gordon missing time.
Well, and maybe it just their hand gets forced. If you look at some of the moves, like the way they let Melvin Gordon test the market, right? And then he kind of came back. And it's like they could start 60-40, but a month into the season, they go, hey, Javonte's that dude. He's got the dog in him. Let's get it going right now.
Yeah. And do you think he'll get the first crack at the red zone touches and the goal line?
The pass catching's the other stuff too. Who's going to get the split on that?
Yeah. So last year was more or less I get the first drive, you get the second drive, and then Melvin Gordon ended up playing a few more snaps because he would come in start the second half as well, even if he finished the last drive. I think that's where it's going to be the inverse, where Javonte is getting the first crack at it. It's not like other backfields where it's like, I'm the passing down guy, you're the short yardage guy. It's a little bit just kind of Melvin and Javonte can kind of do a little bit of each of it. So it really just comes down to Javonte's development. Going back to the scouting reports, Javonte Williams, early declare, was a valedictorian at his high school. Daniel Jeremiah said he's the best interview of the draft class. So I think there's reasons for optimism for Javonte Williams. So I didn't really move my rankings much at all for this report. And this is
Javonte's just so fun too. You watch him on film, he just confirms what you think about him. Yeah,
he definitely is on that one.
Right here.
You made it to the end of the video. Our algorithm overlords tell us you need to subscribe now.